Hey, how's it going, people? Panda here, and I'm back with trying to get back into doing WWE and wrestling related videos real fast. I don't think I'm going to continue doing or putting these over WWE 13 gameplay just because it's kind of an inconvenience for me. If I want to try and get these out more consistently, I'll end up having to put them over Call of Duty multiplayer or zombies, or if they're shorter videos, a few Injustice, Gods Among Us fights. Of course, that's if Warner Brothers doesn't decide to be a complete bitch about fight ones. They're being kind of annoying with single player stuff. But on to the topic. Monday Night Raw for May 20th. It starts with an ambulance pulling in from the backstage area to outside the stage. The doors pop open and Bully Ray. Actually, it was Ryback, but when he popped the doors open, he had his head down to duck out, and it looked just like Bully Ray. Cause he on the leather cut like Aces and Eights wears and the beanie, so it seriously looked just like Bully Ray. I found it kind of funny, but he jumps on top of the ambulance. Obviously he climbed, not straight jump, and he actually cut a really good promo. If you remember back when he started, they had him talking very little. It was only the feed me more chants. Then they slowly had him talk more. He started doing the food and eating related puns, which I quite enjoyed, especially if you've seen the video of Al Snow talking about his eating habits. But it was a really good heel promo. He was attacking Cena's fans, which is usually a good thing to do, but this was just really weak crap, for lack of a better term. It's just, you idiots, you Cena, blah blah blah, I'm gonna send you all to the morgue. But in short, he challenges Cena to an ambulance match at Payback. That is awesome, in my opinion, because I don't remember the last time that we've had an ambulance match. So that's something gonna be cool to see again. They're starting to bring back a lot of these older matches. They're starting to kind of go old school, or like not necessarily Attitude Era or Golden Age, but like the Ruthless Aggression period, where Lesnar and the WCW guys kind of came in. That's actually my favorite. They're starting to kind of go back to those times where it's more aggressive and more willing to push some limits than the PG that we've been in, but without going just kind of ECW or I wouldn't say backyard wrestling, because backyard wrestling is just idiots with barbed wire. Segment 2, the first match, Fandango and Wade Barrett versus Chris Jericho and The Miz. One of those just completely random bullshit tag team matches. I'll get out of the way now. Chris Jericho and The Miz do win, because at some point Fandango tags out, jumps off the apron, and starts dancing. I get he's a dancing character, but that was stupid. It really just kind of ruined the match. It wasn't a horrible match at that point. It wasn't good, obviously, because they knew that was going to happen, and it was just a stupid random tag team match. But Fandango danced. After the Miz had won with the figure 4, they kind of closed in on Miz from around the ring. He bolts over the barricade, and as they run, they cut to a handheld camera in the crowd, and he completely knocks a fan down. He looked like an older guy too. Like, I'm 19. The guy probably looked, 30s, 40s maybe. Just completely barrels over him. I actually started laughing, even though that was not the best thing to laugh at, I guess. But Chris Jericho starts, walking up towards Summer Rae. He holds his hand out like he did several weeks ago to dance and all that. And like they kind of went to lean in to kiss, and then he just sticks his hand up in the middle of her, or in the middle of them. So just a big Chris Jericho style troll. It was funny. She started freaking out. Also, before the first commercial break, during that match, out of nowhere, and this was probably the best thing of the night, in my opinion, was a horse mask. Those rubber horse masks that you can buy just pops up in the middle of the screen. It was like one of those crane cameras that hangs over the crowd, zooming in to the ring, and it just pops up. And I actually yelled out "Spoon." If you know who Spoonerism is, he's a bigger gameplay, not even gameplay, let's play commentator, and he's yet to reveal his face. Just wears a horse mask, and it was hilarious. Third segment, Sheamus versus Titus O'Neil. Obviously, Sheamus is going to win. It was actually a really good match. I did kind of figure out Titus O'Neil sells really good. Of course, depending on the spot. The one I'm referencing is he went for like a shoulder block with the whole football thing, and smacks into the turnbuckle, and he actually sold that really well. For a big guy, it was a really good sell. And other than that, I didn't watch a lot of the match. I had began watching a podcast at the same time, which I know is kind of a stupid thing to do if I want to do WWE related material, but it was one that I did kind of want to watch at that time. It was just really weird scheduling. But the fourth segment, probably the most anticipated of the night, the new Paul Heyman guy is going to be announced. And for some reason, a lot of people were expecting Rob Van Dam, which I would have been cool with. And it's definitely a possibility with the whole contract thing running out with TNA. But I didn't exactly want RVD, and it ended up being Kurt Axel is the character name. I'm actually unsure of his real name, even though I should know it. It's I think it's actually just Kurt Hennig Jr. maybe, but Mr. Perfect's son. He's actually a third generation, which I didn't know. I knew it was Mr. Perfect's son, but his grandfather was something Axel for a nickname, Hennig, so they combined it. Kurt Axel came out to a hip hop version of Hennig's Mr. Perfect's theme, which was actually really liked. Also, if you don't know, this was the guy who used to be Michael McGillicuddy. So they're finally pushing him really big with the Paul Heyman angle. Fifth one, a kind of relevant-ish match. Alberto Del Rio versus Big E Langston. And I really like Big E as a big guy. I usually don't like the big muscular guys, just because they're kind of the same. It's like, what was the guy's name? Mason Ryan. When he was around, he was probably more impressive to watch because he was, so huge and muscular. And I'm not including like Goldberg or Batista, because they were smaller, muscular guys. They were really agile. But I definitely like Big E more than Ryback. Real early in the match, Del Rio was trying to apply the armbar, and Big E kept blocking it by locking his hands, and he ended up trying to apply it while on the outside, and Big E just lifts him up off the apron and swings him into the ring pole. And it made me think back to when Miz got swung around against the barricade by Antonio Cesaro. So it was kind of a cool little spot. Big E ended up winning, so I guess that was to put momentum in Dolph Ziggler's corner for when they have their title match. I guess it's going to be at Payback. Segment 6. AJ versus Layla. I could not give a crap. Actually, I may have actually went to the bathroom during this match. But AJ won. Nobody gives a shit about the Diva division, and I don't like that. I'm going to save that for a series of WWE topics that I'm going to do, but this was probably the most pointless match of the night overall. It's only the only match that may come towards the Divas match as the most pointless of the night. Zack Ryder versus Cody Rhodes. Now, I actually thought Ryder may win, or this may give him a chance to do whatever he's going to do with a gimmick change if he's going to, but it didn't. Rhodes wins off a disaster kick. It was a complete time filler match. The only point to it was that Ryback comes out and they completely spoiled Ryback coming out by cutting to him watching the match on a monitor. I think it was an app plug. They didn't plug the app as much as they did last week, but it was still a lot. It was like 10 times in the first hour was all I counted. But they completely ruined that he was coming out. Comes out, destroys Ryder like you would expect, and then carries him on his shoulder like he's just a baby and throws him into the ambulance, which had stayed out since the opening segment, and the ambulance drives away. Segment 8, The Shield versus Team Hell No and Kofi Kingston. Obviously, Shield's gonna win. Also, if you don't know, Shield took Kofi's U.S. title. I can't remember his name right off. The kind of leader of the Shield took that, and then Roman Reigns and the one with multi-colored hair. I know I should know the names, but they're escaping me right now. Took the tag team from Hell No. Daniel Bryan, this was kind of a small note that I noticed, was in his original tights. It wasn't like the flames kind of everywhere, and the back of the tights didn't say no. I don't think he's been wearing those on occasion, so that kind of showed that it's coming down to the end of Hell No, unfortunately, and based on a backstage segment, they're probably going to start up the Kane versus Daniel Bryan feud now that they don't have the titles. Obviously, it was a good match because actually all of these guys can have a good match with pretty much anyone. Actually had the match muted, so I don't know if anything special was said or done. Again, it's because I was watching the podcast. Another quick note: I don't like Reigns using the spear. There's just something about him that doesn't make the spear good for him. I feel like he should do, either a power bomb or some kind of slam would be more fitting for him than the spear. In segment 9, Randy Orton, which had been voted in by a lot, if the votes even matter, on the WWE app, to face Jack Swagger. It was actually a pretty good match. I don't have any other notes than that. Orton did win off of just an RKO. He didn't punt him like he did Big Show at Extreme Rules. And then the main event, Triple H making a return to a Raw ring. If I had to guess, it was helped to fill the spot that John Cena wasn't there, to either give him time to rest and heal, or just to help play that he was seriously hurt from going through the stage last night. Well, at Extreme Rules. But Triple H versus Curtis Axel, that was something else. They expanded it to Curtis during the reveal early in the night. Triple H had said that he was going to face Axel and then beat the crap out of Paul Heyman. There was no finish to the match. Triple H, I believe, clotheslined Axel out of the ring, threw him back in, and then started collapsing and just couldn't get back in the ring. It was to kind of, I guess, play that he was concussed or knocked out or something from the Extreme Rules match where he took the sledgehammer / fist of Brock Lesnar to the jaw. So it ended on an interesting note. It wasn't exactly bad. Obviously, it wasn't, Axel being put over by defeating the game Triple H, or Triple H shutting the new guy up to a huge pop. But it was definitely not a bad ending. So that's kind of the quick sum. I know it's not that quick, really. But that was kind of a little summary of Raw for May 20th. If I missed anything that you liked or noticed, or anything at all, leave it down in the comment section. Make sure to hit that like button if you are so kind. And I will see you guys later.